indigenous to life, to steal life. It is an anti-life program. It's moving from carbon-based life to silicon-based life to a digital twin of the world that they can control, that is disconnected from spirit.
I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. In the bright glow of the dawn, I see myself clearly, bringing in a new day. The old way of doing things is done. I don't care what you say. Watch, don't sleep under your bed. They sleep inside your head. And if you haven't done the shadow work and left behind, it's where you stay. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the street. We gotta protect plus homeschool. Our babies is a must. They not just no moms, but also no posses. Spola, worshiping pedophiles, wanna feed our children's spirits to robots. Turn all of us from carbon-based to silicone-based. Should be the shit show stops. Get back to doing for ourselves. Water system irrigation and grow crops. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. I'm saying I'm not some master teacher, no am I some pastor or preacher. Was released represent with this passion to speak of. After doing 25 years in the beast cuffs, realize they tried to teach us spiritual, mental, physical diet. They tried to feed us the fire of our ancestors resides in each of us. With that, I'm inspired to turn this heat up. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, tones, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets.
We're really approaching almost like it's a Frankenstein moment. And they're framing it to us as, innovation, right? Where we should all be so excited that this is happening. And, I equate it to like the Golem bringing in like these robots. They would like to feed our life force to learn us in every tiny detail, not to empower us, but to actually transform us into a robotic simulation that is under their full control.
Nah, bro. Come on. You almost there, bro. You almost there. Survive. I do it dance for Chi-Town. Who am I but Chi-Town? You young fool, I'm too fly to just slide down. Blue sky but high ground. My crown slash helmet, so my aircraft still fit. Can't be tied down or even seat belted. I look down, I see green like a Celtic. My heat pulverizes, the cheese is melted. The remnants of cash money, I dispelled it. You did the fusions in my eyes, I beheld it. The finger fucked the cards, my hand, I dealt it. Felt it vibrate from the gut of my pelvic. The bust off of some ices and veil shit. So radiant, I keep a dark room well lit. Cause you little goofies are well quick. Body for real, monkey velvet. Body you not for Mars, just a female's clip. As a kid, all I did was fight. I did the bit with a knife. I know I can spit, my flow's the shit. To a flat, so haters wanna crucify. A real man, I still stand with the still hand. But we're healer, man. It's not cyber shit.
What's happening, guys? What's happening?
Cookie, I don't follow, I set
Grand Rise and Grand Ascension.
Do more to scam. Need more to scanners. I'm off the radar.
How y'all doing today? We're gonna get it in. We're gonna read a little bit. I'm gonna chat about a couple of things, then we're gonna read. Let's think about reading first, right? Just a little bit. It's and you see I didn't put a face in there. It's the book that I'm going to read. I downloaded the PDF for ancient. Well, I'll read that and then I'll mention the name of it. But she has there's a few books written about her and some others and blah blah blah. But I just find it indicative and paramount, and I would expect people to Google her name and see all the photos, all the books, and then tap on those, and it take you to other places. Like scroll all the way down, see more, and see everything in relationship, and you'll be amazed at what you come across. You know. Well, don't be amazed. Just look at it like, okay, because you don't know if it's really true or not. Hey, oh, she feeding her babies is down here about big as her now. Where's the other one at? I remember when y'all was born last year. And I guess your brother's with his family because I haven't seen him in a minute. Yeah, she feeding her baby. Her baby doing a little wing. Yeah, that's what's up. She's looking for moths. Eating bird food, but looking for moths. But yeah, it's pretty good read. I'm going to finish the other books. I look at the time dynamic, you know. I took me a nice outdoor shower. I'm all fresh and refreshed. Oh man, it ain't nothing like black when the water's cold and the sun like it's around 70, 80, and it's right on you with a nice little cross breeze. The water gets warm like after like a minute and a half. I mean, unless you don't like the cold to hit your stomach or your back. I mean, dance it off a couple of seconds. You'll be all right. And you just stand there. Yeah. Hey, baby. Hi. Full circle. Pretty awesome. She's feeding her the bird feed now. Pretty awesome. I don't know if this thing won't move. That's a broken ass Chinese. See? See right there? See? Mm-hmm. Whether your word is bound or wet, it's a big thing. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Now, big bang. But the earth is brown or flat. What our shit back. They foolish. Nobody speaks. If I don't speak, I suffer defeat. I'm other than we. A sucker on me. Stand on 2 feet. Or jump the other cheek. The white. Gotta get in there. A little read. A little chat and a little read. Oh. Conspiring cannabis, other aspirants of violence, terrorists of fire, straight and chains to hide, I'm straight and defiant. In environments of migrants, I'm hearing the sirens. Nigga, my head, they've got indictments. These pedophiles, queers, groupies, and hype men. Alignments, the assignment. I'm not the wisest, I'm not flying. My refinement and confinement, the requirements for this climate. Y'all push all the paperwork, or y'all can protest, but they can't escape this work. I vow to progress, don't duck, no red. True music for real. My soul they don't possess. We're foolish with no deal. Ain't playing with none of them. It's personal, know what the business is. Big Mom says come full circle, so vacate your premises. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is bound or whack. It's a big thing. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Now, a big thing. Whether earth is brown or flat. We want our shit back. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is bound or whack. It's a big thing. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Now, big thing. Whether earth is brown or flat. We want our shit back. I'll teach you up. Then is the beginning. Is the Great Reset or the Great Awakening? Great America or Make America Great Again? I stare so, sun gazing, like that it glow. Shine right after all the shadow work, I bear my soul. No more grooming policy, let my hair grow. You a real need you, fighting for freedom, then we share go. Feathers up, you civilized or recognizable way, you too scared of buck. You love celeb, sure.
Yeah, we want to sit back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You already know.
For the poles to shift. All flying cause it went dark. Total eclipse. The block changed. Got that on them loaded cliffs. Hot lava from bowl-shaped craters. Volcano spit. Complete meltdown. My heat is fell down. Streets need help now. World Economic Forum still found. While we still argue about land ownership and who dwelt on the now. Spelt out on Marcos or Egypt by feet. The world knelt and bowed. Our land beefing. All them outsiders. Who means to manipulate with confidence to outfight us. Elaborate strategy used to conquer and divide us. Return of the ancient ones is here to unite us, ignite us, to purge earth of this pestilence. They must return to their own turf or residence or work.
Return of the ancient ones are here to unite you. Like, pay attention to what he's saying. He said this, he made this a while ago, y'all. A while ago. A while ago.
To be cursed with desolence, with no hesitance, return Big Mom who cursed restore our father's inheritance. I'm not good with dates, got no patience for paperwork. I do know though who the movers and shakers were. Elite Moors, Iroquois, Confederacy Mormons, Quaker Church, and Mongolians, to name a few that's heated up like Jamaican jerk. All these spokespersons as if they got the secret key. Chef will plank themselves to positions of regency. Me, I'd rather just be me. Tuttle sheet of frequency dispersed evenly amongst the first people equally. This is big chieftaincy. Awakening is an endless process of opening, and there's always a door of scars, of secret pain, secret terror, and secret fear. So burn, always to be fragrant. A door of scars bars us from the next room of revelation. Prepare for us. There's always another death to die. Even on the deathbed, there will be another death to die beyond the deaths that are already known. And beyond that death, there will be others we can't imagine. Other deaths into other wider rooms of light. This is the law. This is the process. But what is always opening to another room, another possibility, another vision, forever dying and blossoming in the divine grandeur of the sacred circle of life. This is for my autonomous people. My sights on the prize lies right in front of my eyes. Success, longevity, good health, all my guys no longer flirt with death. Despite her thick thighs, along hair and promiscuous ways, I treat you guys. The resource lives are lost. Jesus wept, mama cries. I surmise the most high rises as the drama dies. To my surprise, I analyze the wise. Never argue with you fools. Schools of thought I graduated from, plus use a few tools. Choose are utilized as well. I do why you who tries fail. I changed the game, not he who buys sells yet. Things are still the same, he who flies shell. The shoot of destiny, roll of rock through skies of hell wet. Boy in a pot of poverty, arguably not probably, nor possibly Miguel adore her heart and father G. No Maury, so no question of who the father be. I saw all you motherfuckers thinking you as hard as me. Cross country, familiar and foreign lands. Mars claim they gang, but not for our stolen lands. While they steadily back doing their own lands, I'ma milk this train like a boat of golden grams. I've come a long way from 92nd and Exes with grand chili, a big old can of Texas. Rose from cold to hot, the temperature shaking. Jealousy and hate is the cause of what success is. The lessons learned are the ones that are best lived. Life's precious, she's quite majestic. Kiss her wet lips. Inspect the guest list for the extra with the death wish. Embrace the envious with a hug of love's the message. Such a fetish, though there's no church in the wild. I still came through fresh with a burst of style, swag surfing. The game ain't been hurt in a while.
Baby's gonna get close.
There's much merch in the owl. Push the dirt in the pile, Joe. Inside the street up, no falling back. I'm moving forward, trying to keep up. I'm shining, turning my life like a heat up. A closed mouth don't get fed. You starving, then speak up. Cross country, familiar lanes and foreign lands. Mars claim they gang, but not for now. We're stolen lands. While they steadily back, doing their own man. gas, I'ma milk this. Drain like a bowl of golden grams. Shoot for my engines. Most death. It's feathers up. Kichiwa.
All truth is universal. Some things that are universal. Honor your mother and father. Want for your brother what you want for yourself. Tell the truth, shame the devil.
Tell the truth, shame the devil.
Quite refreshing. That being said, let me to breathe on y'all for a second. Check it out. No need to look afar. A nook asar. You agreed to put a scar on the foot of God. Wisdom of Tahotep from the book of Ra. Heals all wounds even after you took Amar.
DJ. I like Chris Alakhan.
Make shots at you black rappers. I track actors. I track trappers out. Place the ground upon my head. Spread my shit amongst the dead backpackers. Bring the royal back to life. Back to reality. It's all about reality. Not about a salary. For the love of this light. Naturally. Mesoamerica. Where knees with bows and arrows. Early escape sets grass, so carefully I trace my steps and ask Sharice to marry me through grace. She accepts and last. This is why white Jesus wept at last. Unsparingly erase every bit of your history, similar to what you did to me. Couldn't get rid of me. You're a kid to me. My forebears swore theirs were raw for years. I spit keeper the gas. Fast forward, I'm the last poet, last priest, the last airbender to smash beats. Let us all hell niggas look on netta. The living word, y'all just some dead letters. Whether Anunnaki or Anasazi, the first Americans were not Africans, nor Nazi, Norsemen, Vikings, or some redskin tribesmen. Scientific proof, archaeology. So cosmologically, Caucasians lied about documented evidence with rocks cried out, wiped out from the top of Mount Sinai. I shout, the land of our ancient Kemetic gods fly south. My route from South America, we dare to sail back across the Atlantic through West Africa. Well, we return under the 29th, curl up to Moreau, Nubia. This they're scared to tell, don't panic. I'm not here to overthrow but restore. 1, 2, 3, 4, where they failed to record. Even some of our renowned scholars detoured from off the seashore to flee war just to be more. The rule of God is not for the dishonest man.
Yo, peep this. Me and Total Z, Sarada, you know, that's a beautiful sister, his family. Me and him really didn't meet until like about a year and about, I don't know, I was in Page, right? Not long before I left. Everything he's saying, I've been saying, and he didn't know who I was. A magnificent, beautiful brother in Chicago. He was locked up for a long time for, you know what I mean? With 20 years, I think, 20, 25 years. Anyway, and when I say there are those of us, when you start searching for certain individuals, you start looking for those who have some semblance of remembrance, you know, as you do. And if you really, I always say, you see me bopping, right? But you know what I'm in a cadence too? What he's saying. So y'all seeing me, right? And you hear the boom, boom. That don't mean nothing to me, right? Right out. That's why I said it, because, and I had to do the move again because when he said it, it's a cadence, a rhythm. And you ever seen? It's funny how I got our people on doing it now. In the church, everybody's just trying to be better than everybody. But if you look at the Chechen military ceremonial, they dance and they move in circles. The Ethiopians do it. Then everybody does it. Not the Liberians, not the Nigerians. And there's books, I have it. We used to do that. We used to lock arms like in a different fashion over and under and move in a circle with a fire, right? Non-stop for like hours. Just going in a circle. And the women be out there and they be swaying back and forth. And we would do that. I attempted to get y'all to come together to show you some things. And y'all refused who you are, so. But we had never met, never even heard one another. About 2 years maybe, okay?
The sun stands still above the promised land. Where after gunfire,
There's plenty carnage as in that whole day. You have to pay homage. I am a descendant of the Amaru, Peru, pyramid of the sun. Ani, Tahoe, Tahoe, a sister double staircase. Balance of the two lands. Now if I can't do it, then tell me who can.
Woo!
It'd be a lot of secret passages that people have to cut through in order to make it successful in this entertainment business. Would you agree with that? I agree 100%. It's a lot of backdoor stuff. It's a lot of gatekeepers in the industry that will not let you come through that door. And there's a lot of homosexuality. There's a lot of homosexuality in this. Of course, you know what I mean?
Scoping out my exit from this matrix where market and promotion is on hatred and fake shit. Create my own way.
Hatred and fake shit. So we got somebody who's having a hard time hitting a light because they're full of hatred, ignorance, and everything else. They're disconnected. Do not never allow yourself to become disconnected. Allow them to be disconnected. You don't have to point it out because it'd be meaningless. I point it out. It's very meaningless.
Or on some playlist, the agenda is the same. Your brain on a slave ship.
Doesn't matter.
What? Now you famous, couple of dollars in your pocket and a chain to keep you anchored. You angered. Deep down, soldier soul can't reclaim it. You didn't try to say shit, but really can't explain it. You had the means to do it, yet didn't change shit. Instead, you continue to entertain us with the same lameness as the rest of the entertainers whose job is to tame us. Simulation is designed to shame us again and even more faceless. The ones that look like us are even more
wrong way.
The white man's not the white man. Some might say explain this first in slavery was melanated.
Okay, there we go. This thing got transformers, man. These things are transformers, man. I hate these things. Well, I disdain for these things.
Create my own way.
Where your mama at?
Don't chase it. Motion what is.
You get them red ants tear your butt up. Well, at least I don't know if it's a he or a she. I can't tell yet.
So they risk, gesture their case with a plain encounter in the A-list. They want you in a play stripped on some gay shit. Program on a slow spin. Once the dance done, lights glow down, turn your back on your woke friend, learn a fact.
Oh yeah, it's in your DNA. She's comfortable with me. You come over here. You come here. Oh, look at this.
Return taxes that you owe them. For that advance you don't know, slam to advance show.
Yeah, you can come here.
With a chance to expose film, scanner your program, your tangibles liquidated.
Little mother like
frozen.
Oh, I can see you. It's cool. I ain't coming over there to you.
Overflow, show sweat or drown. Let me expound more. For show jump.
Unnatural, natural fear.
I follow no trend. 0% of me's competing with you. That's on phone now.
That's on fooling them. You already told you.
This matrix where market and promotion is on hatred and fake shit. Create my own wave. I don't chase shit.
Man, we gotta get ready to get this on, man. We gotta get ready to get this on. We gotta tap it out. Get off.
In my music, and a lot of this music, it's only talking about the suppressed rising. I mean, the oppressed rising up against the oppressor. That's all. That's what my music's about. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. So the only people that's scared are the oppressors. The only people who could have any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that.
3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender. It's time for a change, gotta bounce up. The oppressor's about to get bounced up. I'm like your mouth, execution's down. Too late for the apologetic claim. You wrapped in a cloak and blame. My God, it's overdue. Your time is to the end. Lock Jah silent without sin. You put me on the better, but justice the win. The oppressor's about to get rolled down. With some pressures attached to the war zone. Revolution can start in the Arizona. I'm a messenger popping like Terracone. Backed by the honorable who sits at the pinnacle. Who judges the hypocritical, cynical, and the political sinful. My thinking is critical. I'm just ventilating of the actions of the protected service. Quick to pull the Glock, blast and kill this. Don't take any kind of skill. No, I'm ill.
Because they all fit in.
Citizens who have it to stand or kneel. feels too late when the caps get peeled.
People are unaware that religion was created first, then racism. And that's the most screwed up thing. And because they were rewriting, they were flipping the world, inverting it, and spinning it around backwards, you know? In order to do the magic they're doing, everything has to be in so much as opposite, but the perverse, without people accepting that it's perverse.
Drop the oppressor, need no surrender, 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, need no surrender, 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser.
Yep.
Drop the oppressor, need no surrender.
This world is such a and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean an ideal.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean?
Thing you do is such a gimme.
We're gonna do it.
Everybody back
We're
off.
gonna do it.
Everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business. You want to be successful. You want to be like Trump. Gimme. Push. Step. Crush. That's how it all is. And it's like nobody ever stopped.
I'm telling you, man, I'm about to go get some head from old CV something where I can ride a horse playing it. This part right here, this looping. You know, just get up, Nelly. Hit the Amish card. Okay, there we go. So, brother, you already know he's up in here. You know he's doing his thing. So, I have 2 books on Helen Blavatsky, right? But the one that I was going to read dealt with the magical crap, right? I downloaded the PDF because y'all could download it for yourselves. You go and look at the books and everything. And this is the mulatto, all right? And in relationship to the Mahatma, y'all need to. That's why I've been sharing what I've been sharing for so long. And even though I've been sharing verbally based on what I've studied, learning around the world, traveling in the military and on my own, I really got deep into this when I was studying Talmudic, Masonic, the Talmudic Masonic order, and that's how I found out about this. You know, my uncles who are Jewish, they made sure I knew some things. And somebody said, "What do you mean they're dark?" My 2 uncles fought in the Korean Vietnam War. They're about in the 80s right now, 80 something. They're darker than me. They have thick, wavy. You would think that maybe they're American mix, like what's his name that got murdered? He's Etrian. They kind of look like that. You know what I'm saying? And kind of like us. Like we could pass for one another. It's steeped in a period of Egyptian ideology because, as I stated, original Egypt was here, but it was based on a period of time. And anyone can say what they want. They can believe the lies because they had to flip it. You know, first of all, my family's from Winston-Salem and Memphis, down there in the bayou, and all of it actually. You know what I'm saying? Oklahoma, okay, the actual city, the little part that got burned down. That's why I knew that story. I was like, they only hit a certain part and we fought back. They don't never want to tell you that because they operate on fear. What they call it, passive aggressive. That's how these fake Jews talk. They talk passive aggressive. But it's a pleasure talking to you, but at the same time, trying to roast you and make you believe what they're saying is the truth. Well, they're not listening to nothing you got to say. They've been nurtured to do this, as so have many people in their ignorance. Okay. But are you aware that Winston-Salem, without the Winston, when you're thinking about Kakalaki, not Carolina, California, it means Jerusalem. That all between Memphis, the fact that they always talk about Mexico. That's new. Okay? But Louisiana stretched all the way up to Oregon, Washington, even parts of this so-called California, which is Cali, which is an island. And it went all the way down to what they consider right now Mexico. Right? If you study land purchases, I mean, they've been groomed into a fake narrative, and that's what you do when you create a new breed of people. Okay, I'm not being ugly in this. I'm stating a fact. They attempted it with us, didn't work out too well. Okay, so when you come to know these things, because they talk about Gishan, all these rivers, and you know, the Nile. Well, ours, Mississippi's the only one that got 7 rivers, and not because of dams that branch off from it. Over there, it's 5. So how's that Egypt? With the youngest pyramid? We have all that underground here. But the more you come in tune with things, the more you start to rationalize with reason things that make sense. You know what I mean? Yeah, Yosemite. Yosemite. Thank you. You know what I mean? Absolutely. But the thing is, people don't get the little pieces and put them together. You know, like I'm not really lifting heavy, right? And if I was to lift heavy, right, I would have to take. I would give myself a 6-month window to increase my weight back up to at least 175 and shoulder presses and bench, even in this state. Or I would mitigate cardio as far as lifting without running, because running is one of the worst things you can do. I used to run marathons. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, it's the same thing with this. They call it rat race. They already see you as beasts and animals. How is man and woman rats? And what race are they in? A maze of deception and deceit, lies. You know what I mean? The hooligan mind. You dig what I'm saying? The hawk. Yeah, Noose River, one of oldest. And see, even the names, even the names have been tampered with. The only way you can create a new world order, we've already cleared this, and people are coming into the reasoning, the fact that this is reality. The only way you can do that is you have to step out of order. They are so disconnected. And the struggle with most of us is the fact that we're still connected and attempting to rationalize what we've been nurtured with, fighting a lie with a truth while we aren't. The truth isn't relevant because we're not practicing it. You have to, it's like a firearm. You can have a firearm all day and all the bullets in the world. But if you're not practicing, if you're not utilizing it, it doesn't matter. It's like math. Some people have that mind where they, mathematicians, right? The majority would have to go, oh, wait. I carry that under, carry it over. How many zeros do I add up? This is go to pi, look at the circumference, and you start getting to these mathematical objects. It's the same thing in life. Okay? But how do we get here? That's why I say it's indicative of one to read. And the space is paramount to finding out the truth, even if the truth is not all inclusive in the dynamics of the nonsense they write. Now, just because it be a good read, informative wise, doesn't mean that it's based on good practices and deeds. So therefore, I am dealing with what we say, blood money, blood history, blood ideology, the isms, the issues, and the ing. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to go ahead and I just wanted to chat that out. Okay. Also on American Activities Committee. Yeah, that's what you were saying up top, right? Okay. Yeah. So what I was going to, because y'all know I used to do that, read the introduction through the gates of light. We could do that at the end because this is a short read. But I'm just going to read it for chapter 1, just a few chapters. All right. And then I got to round sound. All right. So anyway, this is Helen Blavatsky and the Masters of Ancient Wisdom, a cult visionary and her connection to the Mahatmas. All right. So that would be the Ancient Wisdom Institute. You can actually put ancientwisdominstitute.org or whatever, something like that. And you'd be amazed at what you pull up. All right. So we're going to get chapter 1, the fire within. Okay. Now, it may seem boring. It may not. I appreciate the likes, the comments, sharing it if possible. I know y'all saw the little short video that says, you know what? I said, let me do what the light-skinned brothers do, you know? And while they're teaching bull crap and nonsense and chaos and war and death and everything like that, not really stemming to elevate individuals, I said, well, heck, well, buy me. I don't drink coffee unless it's mushroom coffee, which is expensive. So I said, I like pure tea, you know, pure leaf tea. Go ahead and buy me a cup of tea. And over there, even I send like $5. And I said, well, let me see how my so-called tribe, because they have the hardest time. And I'm not Gaddy Green. I'm not going to sit there. But if you could give me $1, which is fine, I think that's magnificent. I wish I would have done that. But if you want to donate, Omek, appreciate that. I'm actually going to get some screws with that today, brother. Well, I'm going to put a few dollars because I got to pick something up too. And then I think I got to get some flashing. I got to see if they have it there. And then there's 2 other things because I'm going to start building it up. When I return, I'm going to drive the truck forward. We're going to lift it up, slide it in, see how it looks. Okay? I'm going to go grab the 2x6. You're going to watch me doing this. I'm going to get the measurements for the inside. Then I'm going to start measuring out. I need to pick up I have a tape ruler down there. I got a few of them in the totes or whatever, right? But I'm going to get another one so that way I can just go ahead and get the measurements down for the insulation and start gluing that in the deck because I'm going to take one of the and I'm going to measure that, cut it out, and I'm going to seal my deck off. I got the Flex Seal paint. I'm going to brush that around so you'll see that first where the white mold killing primer is. I'm going to take the Flex Seal and go all around the edges. So I'm going to brush it out and all that stuff. Get that in there, let it do its thing while I'm getting the 2x6s for the bolts that are going to lock it down to the bed and start building it up. Getting everything, cross member braces, everything, so we can start encasing it. The door, I'm not going to spread that out because I actually knew I brought it in for a reason to that half inch, quarter inch or half inch, and somebody I wrote it up on it. I'm gonna leave it as it is because I really want it kind of coming in. I don't want it laid out squared. You know what I mean? I want some dynamics to when and anyway, you guys will see it when it's all done. Shut up. Let me just go on to chapter 1, The Fire Within. All right. Blavatsky's early life and awakening. Long before she became a controversial figure in spiritual circles or co-founded the Theosophical Society, I think that was 1898 or something like that, We'll get into that. She founded the Theosophical Society. Helena Petrovna Blavatsky was a restless and unusually perceptive child in the Russian Empire. Born in 1831 in Yekaterinskoye, now Dnipro, Ukraine. Okay, she arrived into a world defined by rigid social structures, imperial expectations, and deep religious orthodoxy. But even as a young girl, it was clear that Helena was not going to accept the world on the terms it was given to her. Y'all need to remember, they weren't using fluoride then. Raised in an aristocratic family with connections to both the Russian nobility and the military, Helena was expected to follow the path laid out for young women of her class. A well-mannered upbringing, a suitable marriage, and a life of domestic duty. Her mother, Helena Andreyevna, was a writer of some literary reputation, excuse me if I hacked it up, and her father, Colonel Peter von Hahn, served in the Russian army from a young age. I know. You would say, what? Isn't that more dramatic? Look, you're dealing with a world where they were reconstructing and recreating, and the enemy was in all facets, just as they are now. All governments. Hitler wasn't murdered. He did his part, eradicating numbers, getting rid of oppositions. He served his purpose. Displayed traits that set her apart from others. Intellectual curiosity. It'd be wonderful to see how people have that again, and not for drugs and shaking booties and sagging pants and all that nonsense. Okay? A defiant spirit and a striking lack of interest in social conventions. Now, these early years planted the seeds of the spiritual fire that would eventually define her life. Now, you know they're going to glamorize her Don't worry, I got material that won't do that. Helena was, by all accounts, a precious and imaginative child. Her relatives recalled her as passionate, often unruly, and quick to challenge adults with questions that went far beyond her age. Sounds like me. She was fascinated with stories of magic, ancient civilizations, and otherworldly beings. Now, in the 1800s, why did we be talking and discussing magic and otherworldly beings and ancient civilizations? She was living in Tartary as it was being destroyed, Crimean Wars and all that. But what made her different wasn't merely a childlike fascination with fantasy. It was a persistent sense that there was more to reality than meets the eye. Now, Helena often spoke of seeing visions, sensing presences, and receiving knowledge that she had not been taught. These experiences weren't always welcomed by those around her, and she quickly learned that her worldview did not fit easily into polite conversation. Didn't make for good moxie. Now, from early on, Helena rejected the religious formalism and permeated Russian society. While she never positioned herself as anti-religious, she developed a lifelong mistrust of dogma and institutional authority. Her personal spirituality was like police. They go to learn law for 2 weeks. They don't know a damn thing about law. I'm giving you a lawful order. No, you're not. You give me emotions and feelings steeped on a policy because you're targeting individuals based on whether you're racism, ignorant, or you want to jump up, or you don't care, and you know that you don't know nothing. You know that the costume with the majority of people exudes some false sense of authority, and so they move that way. Okay, there we go. Anyway, institutional authority. Her personal spirituality was intuitive and experimental. She gravitated toward the mystical and esoteric dimensions of belief, often expressing ideas that seemed to draw on traditions that she had not been formally exposed to. Now, her relatives dismissed some of these expressions as fantasy, or the wild imagination of a clever child, but others found them unsettling. Now, the death of her mother when Helena was just 11 years old marked a turning point in her development. She was sent to live with her grandparents, and her life became even less stable. The combination of emotional upheaval and early spiritual questioning deepened her sense of alienation from the conventional world. And these were not easy years, but they were formative. You know, being that cocoon, you got to break out, and somebody lets you out, you're pretty much done, you know? So it was the stress, the environment that would build whatever it becomes, okay? She began to read voraciously, exploring not only literature and history, but also any text she could find on mythology, magic, and the occult. This autodidactic, all right, this autodidactic, let me get the word right, okay, streak would remain with her for life. Now, by the time she was a teenager, Helena had already begun to exhibit signs of a powerful, if somewhat unpredictable, psychic sensitivity. Now, reports from her family and friends suggest she had moments of apparent clairvoyance and even out-of-body experiences. Whether these accounts are taken literally or metaphorically, that's up to you. What's clear is that Helena experienced the world in a way that felt deeper, more layered, and less confined than the typical adolescent frame of her reference. Okay? Now, at 17, in what many biographers consider an impulsive act of rebellion, she married Nikifor Blavatsky, a much older man and provincial official. Now, the marriage was short-lived and unhappy. Helena left him almost immediately, a decision that, while scandalous for the time, set her on a path of greater independence. It also launched her into a life of travel, seeking, and what some would later interpret as initiation. I guess rites of passage. Now, in the years following her departure from the marriage, Blavatsky began what would become a lifelong pattern. Restless movement in search of wisdom. Accounts of her early journeys are often difficult to verify. Yet, as the records are sparse and sometimes contradictory. And again, yet what remains consistent across various narratives is her deepening interest in spiritual systems, outside of Western Orthodoxy. Now, she is said to have traveled through Egypt, Turkey, India, and possibly even Tibet, regions rich in mystical traditions. And during these years, Blavatsky absorbed elements of Kabbalah, Sufism, Eastern philosophy would be origin here, and ceremonial magic, South America in here, the world over, things that we weren't supposed to mess with. Maybe everywhere. Anyway, whether these studies were formal or informal, her intellectual and spiritual foundation was growing broader and more diverse. Now, I'm gonna read this last paragraph, mark it, and I'm running town and do stuff so I can get back and get some stuff done. What's particularly striking about Blavatsky's early travels is how little they were guided by the social norms of expectations of her time. For a woman of her background to travel alone, often without clear purpose or support, was practically unheard of. Her willingness to defy convention and pursue convention, I think convenience is what it's supposed to say, in pursuit of something unnamed speaks to the intensity of her inner calling. She seemed driven by a sense that there were truths scattered across the world, waiting to be pieced together into something coherent and transformative. Transformative. Think about that. All right, we're going to stop it off there and we'll pick it right back and we can start to describe all the magnet, all kind of unpredictability and all kind of stuff. And I really don't want to, I forgot to get my pencil. I'm just going to put a little crease right here. I don't want to damage it, but you know what I mean? So it's pretty interesting. I would like to have a little speak on some of this, but let's finish as much of this as possible. And then from there, we can go, hey, appreciate that, Walada. What's going on, beloved? Appreciate that, fam. I'm trying to hit the thing and it's running up and everything. All right. Appreciate that. No Blavatsky, no Mahatma Gandhi, origin of Krishna. Word. Sons of there. Everything outside of here is right here. And you know what bothers me is the people that pick it up with religious idioms and ideology. I'm not dismissing religion. I am dismissing the provocative disorder of it and its dysfunction, regardless of where it came from. Because they didn't just make it up out of, well, a plethora probably, but like I said, if you keep looking at it and you can't look inside, you can't interpret it. You know what I mean? It's messed up, right? It's really screwed up. Anyway, let me see what else is there. My apologies. My back's a little throat. The origin of the concept of heaven. Yeah, you know what? There's a book. There's a plethora. What was it? What was that? What was that damn book? There's a book that speaks on all the different heavens, the names, of this, that, and the other. That's why I keep saying heaven is within. And they got us looking outside for it, and we'll never find it. Only pleasures of the physical, because we refuse to allow ourselves to be nurtured by those who may know, to go inside. That the real pleasure is beyond sex and hey, and all that other stuff. Hey, all that other stuff, you know. Yet there's no wrong answer, actually, when you think about it, because like I said, there's a book on this. I mean, there's so many different heavens, like, and that's why, you know, that's why it's important. Like when I chant and stuff and do all the ohms and this, that, and other, I'm really deep seeking, like a deep diver. You know what I mean? Like a deep diver. You know, the old World War II and before that with the big bell housing and the big lead weighted suit, you know, and the pump with the, you know, the guy up there cranking it, you know. Sometimes that's what we require, you know what I'm saying? Holy smack, I just noticed that. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? all old world languages originate here along with the spiritual religion and magic. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, man, I've been studying magic for so long. I see so much bull, and I see some things that shouldn't really be out here. And I know that people have messed and tampered with it. And there's so much more. There's so much more. But hey, you know, to each their own, you know what I mean? And look, I appreciate you guys. I didn't put my cash up in there. If y'all want to donate, you know how to do it. I didn't set the goal either. I was going to set the goal. I was like, God, that negative. I went over to my tablet. I was setting the goal. And I was like, forget it. I'm not going to do that, you know. No. I like it, though. I like the fact that people could do that. We could do that now, you know. Did you see my message on the super chat? Well, no. Well, I don't know. No. Oh, yeah, you know, I said, yeah. Oh, yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, I said, appreciate you, beloved. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, my goodness. Eyeballs gonna fall out my head. You run around here. Anyway, I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna head out. I appreciate you, beloved. Trust me, I do. I push everybody to donate, and I like when you put it what it's for, because then I could actually, okay, I'm gonna take that and put it there. I'm gonna match it, so if there's like change, I put it to something else. I mean, that's what I do. So, and there's stuff that's sitting there too. I don't mess with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I have, you know, Bitcoin. I have stuff like that. So. You know what I mean? So I don't just, you know what I mean? It just be there. You know what I mean? If there's cannabis, bread of life, cannabis is protection, wine is pleasure. You're damn right. Unless we made the wine, then it was medicine. I was telling the people about watermelon wine. They're like, you crazy. Orange julep and all that. They're like, you crazy. I was like, look. We original whiskey, raw whiskey. We the original makers of that stuff. They just hijack it. I don't care who and put a face to it. You know, the great superiority of something that never, you know, yeah. You know. But they don't care about that now. Now they, you know, they want to destroy everything, and whatever they create for whatever purpose, whatever agenda. You know. I missed the whole lot. Nitsia, working, huh? Those clay tablets derived from Guatemala, of course. Cuneiform, that was an ancient language that was spoken by everybody. But I hate the fact that they call it cuneiform. But you got to remember that just like this language and the so-called words, right? They're nothing but symbols. And cuneiform and even hieroglyphics once used to tell the story by painting a face, like movement, and people visually knew what they were looking at because everybody spoke the dialect, and that was here, regardless of the fact that they broke it up and made it seem like all these languages came out of nowhere. Manipulation. Just like right now they're creating words and they're indoctrinating the children, and we hear it and we go, what the heck is that? You know, it's like every 4 to 7 years, what they create a version of the Bible. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, people. And you would think that the people out there would be more resilient, you know, but it's not the case. You know what I mean? I appreciate you guys. I really do. Let me see if I'm gonna shout you out if anybody sent something to Cashapp. I don't care if it's $1 or $2. It don't matter, because I'm about to go. Like I said, I'm gonna pick up some things, and I hope I don't see something that I'll be like, dang, man, you know, $7. I could have got that. I mean, I'm retarded like that, y'all. Okay. Well, I got you, Orlando. I got you, Sienna, and Baby Girl Slaughter. She hit me up the other day. Bitcoin is up 0.54%. My stocks that I'm dealing with up about 0.31% today. That's not bad. So if you have 5,000, you know what you're making, right? And you can take that and put it into another, if that's what you chose. If you don't mind playing that game, you know what I mean? Okay. All right, let me get out of here, guys. Well, I'm starting to feel a little woo-woo tired. All right, and I appreciate y'all taking the time to listen. You know, we created it all. Exactly. I'm gonna join the FBA to break it up. Yo, I should. Hey, where's it at? Is it on YouTube, right? I haven't seen. I asked somebody to screenshot the idiot that took me and put my name out of character on X or whatever they call it now, right? And talking about the FBA knucklehead, because the monkey won't come over here and say nothing, not to me. But somebody had shared it and I couldn't screenshot it because it was like, I don't have X. I'm letting them, they've been charging my account legally and I'm gonna sue them. Yep. Because I know some things. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go ahead, put it all together. You get Arabic, then you're gonna subtract. Yeah, subtract Latin, exactly. And it's ancient. All that's new. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been telling people with these Native Americans, I says, who was here building all these things that are all over the place, under the ground? I'm not gonna mention names and everything else because they have no idea about it. Great cities, we're talking about buildings under the ground. They don't know because they're not the original people of this land. You dig? It's us and a number of light-skinned folk, whether you like it or not. It's the way it is. You know? Homo ductus is simple. It is. A learned man always has wealth within himself. Absolutely. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I appreciate you guys. Go back and check it out. We're at 56 minutes. I'm going to get the hell out of here so I can get back because I hate my phone. I don't know why I'm feeling tired. All right? As always, I'll be your medicine man. A lot of, did giants exist? I know I got a whole lot of them. Of course they did. And I see the news about Alaska. I know. And as I said, Yosemite, which called park, all the animals leaving. Something's about to happen bad, y'all. It is what it is. But anyway, let me get out of here. I appreciate you guys. It's nothing but, you know what I'm saying? Yellowstone, yeah, Yosemite Yellowstone Park. Yeah, all the animals getting out of there. And that's what happens. Look it up before. And they're doing this. The floods here. And you don't see, look, no patriots. You don't see nobody's, not today, Convenience. No people can still go get a steak and potato in Texas. No people can run around getting high, acting stupid and all paranoid in Chicago. Idiots in New York, they always just the dumbest crap going on with them idiots. LA, majority of our original melanated people, they ain't even that many there no more, y'all. And some of you living there know this. You know? But anyway, I appreciate y'all. And I'm out of here. All right. Appreciate y'all.